Today's lesson is called Translation Practice. Hello everyone, my name is Jeff.
And I'm Hanny.
Folks, today it's time to do some translating. You know the drill. We are going to translate 4 sentences, 4 Chinese sentences into 4 perfect English sentences. Now, I've said this many times before, translation isn't so easy. You don't want to translate word for word. That can cause you a lot of problems. So, hey, that's where Hanny and I come in. We are your guides for all things translation related. So, hey, let's get started.
好，我们今天的翻译写作同样会有2个部分，那每个部分有2个要翻译的句子。那我们现在就赶快进入第一句是许多人搭捷运通勤时有听音乐的习惯。那这个句子的主词是许多人，动词是有什么什么的习惯。好，那么由于搭捷运通勤和听音乐这是2件同时进行的事，我们可以用这个连接词 while 去表达在什么什么同时。那么 while 主词加动词要特别注意，如果它的主词跟前面主要子句的主词一样的话，其实可以简化成 while 加上动词 ing， 就这样简化就可以了。那这个句子是在陈述事实，所以时态用现在简单式。
Okay, most of us have a pretty regular lifestyle, or at least we've installed a routine into our lives. We wake up, we get ready to go to work.Then we go to work, we work, and then we come home. Now, let's focus on that whole getting to work and then getting back home thing. You call that a commute. When you go from your house to your work and then back again, you are commuting. And there are many ways that you can commute. You take the MRT to work and then back home, so on, so forth. That is how you are commuting. For example, many people who live in the suburbs must commute for more than an hour to get to work. Some people take the regular train, some people drive, some people do a combination of multiple things. I once had a student who used to have to take a bus to the MRT, who would have to take the MRT to a train and a train out to Shiza. It was quite the commute she had. Next, let's talk about bad things that we do that, well, we don't have total control over. Let's talk about habits. Like some people, they smoke cigarettes. Ooh, they know they shouldn't do it. They know that those cigarettes are bad for them. Ooh, they're very bad for you, but they keep doing it because they have this habit. They're in the habit of smoking, or they have the habit of smoking. Okay, and yes, you can either have the habit of noun or verb ing, or you can be in the habit of noun or verb ing. For example, Peter has the habit of making his bed every morning, which is considerably more healthy than smoking.
好，那我们来看这边句子有2个重点。第一个是搭捷运通勤。好，我们先来看 commute 这个动词呢，它是当不及物用就可以表达通勤、上下班、往返。那我们在翻译说搭捷运通勤的时候，可能会被这个中文搭这个动词来影响。你也许会想成说，我是不是要写成 take the MRT to commute， 或者是你用搭捷运上下班来想，你可能会想写成 take the MRT to and from work， 或是 take the MRT to work and back home。不过其实你只要说 commute on the MRT 就可以了，所以我们不要被那个中文的思维去影响了。然后再来看到 MRT 就是 Mass Rapid Transit 的首字母缩写，其中名词 transit 在美语当中尤其是用来指公共运输，就是 mass transit。 好，再来看到第二个重点是有什么样的习惯。我们知道习惯是 habit， 所以要表达有什么样的习惯，你可以用 have the habit of 加上名词或动名词，或者是 be in the habit of 加上名词或动名词。好，那现在看完这2个重点，我们可以翻译整个句子。我们请 Jeff 老师帮我们念完整的句子。
Many people have the habit of listening to music while commuting on the MRT. Okay, let's move on to sentence number 2.
好，我们要翻译的第二句是车厢内的噪音量可能促使他们调高音量，因而会伤害他们的听力。好，这个句子的主词是噪音量，the noise level。 那要表达车厢内的噪音量，你可以写作 the noise level inside the train。 好，那么这个句子的动词是可能促使，那因为是在陈述事实，所以时态用现在简单式。
Prompt, cause, or lead somebody to. First of all, let's talk about the word cause. If something causes something, that thing happens because of that first thing. Very often people talk about causes and effects. The cause is what makes that effect happen, or it leads to that effect. Further, the word prompt can be used in a similar way, but when I think of someone prompting me, they're looking for an answer. They're looking for me to do something. They're looking for me to say something. So in that way, yes, when they're prompting me, they're causing me to do something in response. For example, you could say the dirty mark on Steve's shirt prompted him to do his laundry. Yep, this was the straw that broke the camel's back. That laundry pile had been piling up there for about a month. But hey, that dirty mark on his shirt, finally, it caused him to do his laundry, or it led him to do his laundry. Next, let's talk about music. I don't listen to music all that often, but I do listen to podcasts when I run. And I'm guilty of this. Let's say I am in a high traffic situation when I'm jogging and I can't really hear what I'm listening to. I will turn up the volume. I will increase or raise the volume. I'll make things louder in my Walkman headset there so that I can continue listening to what I'm listening to. And that's the idea here. To turn up the volume or to increase or raise the volume is to make something louder. It could be your radio, your stereo, your Walkman, your iPhone, your iPod, your smartphone. If you're listening to music and you make it louder, you are turning up the volume or you are increasing or raising the volume. And be careful. These days, most of the time, you are listening to music in those earbuds or your headphones. So that can be bad for your ears. More on that later. Next, we also have the word thus. Thus means this resulted from that. Jason stopped his car suddenly, thus causing an accident behind him. Why was there the accident behind him? Because Jason stopped his car suddenly. One thing followed from the other, thus tells us about that. Then we have the word hearing to talk about. If you listen to your music too loud, especially with your earbuds in or your headphones on, you might damage your hearing, your ability to hear.
好，我们来看这边有4个重点。首先是要表达促使，我们可以用 prompt 或是 cause 或者是 lead 再加上 somebody to 怎么样怎么样。其中这个动词 prompt 它是指引起、导致、促使。那么 prompt somebody to do something 就是促使某人决定做某事。好，再来看到调高音量，这个音量呢，我们是用 volume 这个名词来表达。那要表达调高音量，我们动词可以用 increase 或者是 raise 或者是用片语 turn up。那么这个 turn up 就可以表达调大或者是调高，像是你要调大音量啊，把温度调高等等。那特别注意就是受词的部分呢，你可以摆在 turn 跟 up 之间，像你可以说 turn the volume up 或者是 turn up the volume。 那它的相反词 turn up 相反词是 turn down。 再来看到第3个重点是 thus 这个字呢，它可以表达因而怎么样，于是怎么样，或者是以这种方式怎么样怎么样。好，再来看到第4个重点是听力，我们是用 hearing 这个字来表达。 hearing 当听力听觉来解释的时候是不可数名词，像我们可以用 somebody's hearing is good 或者是 poor 来表达某人的听力好或是不好。那如果你在 hearing 后面接连字号再加上 impaired 这个字， hearing impaired 就可以表达听觉障碍、听力障碍的。好，那现在看完4个相关文法重点，我们可以请 Jeff 老师帮我们翻译整个句子咯。
The noise level inside the train might prompt them to turn up the volume, thus damaging their hearing.
好，那我们接着要进入第二部分咯。第二部分第一个要翻译的句子是网络购物的便利造成大量包装垃圾的产生，这是一个非常严重而无法被忽视的问题。好，这个句子它的主词是网络购物的便利，那么动词是造成，那它是在陈述事实，所以时态用现在简单式。
Gosh, online shopping. It's so easy.It used to be that if I wanted to go shopping, I would have to get off the couch, put on some clothes, grab my keys, my wallet, open the door, close the door, somehow get to a store by way of car or bicycle or walking or something like that, buy the stuff, and then lug it all home. Gosh, what an inconvenience. Life was so difficult back then. Well,Online shopping has changed all of that. Wow, is it ever convenience? Yes, you can call me a fan of the convenience of online shopping because it has made my life easier. Online shopping has made my life so much easier. By the way, a convenience is anything that makes your life easier. Anyways, for example, some supermarkets offer customers the convenience of having food delivered to their homes. So instead of lugging that food home, let's say, or instead of going to the supermarket at all, maybe you can order that stuff online and they'll send it to you. Or if you do go to the store and you don't want to carry that stuff home, they'll go ahead and send it to your place for you or deliver it to your home. Now, let's talk about packaging waste. There is one huge drawback to online shopping. When you get something on Amazon.com, it comes in a box wrapped in plastic. Whatever inside probably has some bubble wrap around it, whatever. All of this is packaging, and it's packaging waste. Why is it waste? Because it ends up in the garbage. Okay, now we can be literal or figurative when talking about a large amount of stuff. We could be joking around and exaggerating and saying, wow, you've got tons of dirty laundry in your room. No, you don't. There aren't actually tons of dirty laundry in your room. There's just a really large amount of it. But yes, with packaging waste and Amazon and companies like that, they do create tons of packaging waste, lots and lots of it, huge amounts of it, great amounts of it. The list goes on and on. Anyways, you could say something like, Sally is under a lot of pressure because she has to finish the project by the end of the day. She is under a lot of pressure. You could also say that she has tons of pressure on her shoulders because of this project. But in this particular situation, we wouldn't be literal. We would be exaggerating, and therefore we'd be using this phrase in a figurative way. Then we also have this phrase, too serious to be ignored, okay? If you ignore something, you act as though it's not there. You know it's there, but you think it's no big deal. Maybe it's a little bit annoying. I'm just not going to pay attention to it intentionally. Well, sometimes things, they go over the line, they cross some point, and they become an emergency, let's say. They become urgent. You need to deal with these things. And if that's the case, you can no longer ignore them because they are too serious to be ignored. For example, you could say, Dorothy was too tired to go to the movies with her friends tonight. Yes, in this particular situation, what we're saying is that before, maybe she could have found the energy to go, but this time, no. She was too tired to do something, and therefore she most definitely did not do that thing.
好，那我们来看这个句子呢，有3个文法重点。首先是要表达网络购物的便利。好，我们先来看这个名词 convenience， 就是表达便利、方便，它是不可数名词。如果你在前面加上字首 in 是否定字首 ，inconvenience 就可以表达不便、不方便了。好，那么再来呢，我们可以用 the convenience of 加上名词或动名词去表达什么什么的便利。所以网络购物的便利，你就可以说 the convenience of of online shopping。那特别注意这个部分，如果当主词的时候，要把它视为单数，后面搭配单数动词。好，再看到第二个重点是要翻译大量包装垃圾。那么先来看包装垃圾怎么表达哦。Packaging 就是包装材料。那么 waste 是指垃圾废物，那这两个都是不可数，所以 packaging waste 就可以表达包装垃圾了。好，再来我们要表达大量的话，那特别注意，因为我们后面是不可数名词嘛，所以你前面就是要接这个可以修饰不可数名词的。那你可以用 a lot of lots of 这是最简单的，就可以表达大量，或者是你可以用 tons of 或是 a ton of。 这个 ton 有吨的意思，是单位嘛，可是它也可以用来表达大量的意思，我们就用 tons of 什么或是 a ton of 什么，后面是可以接可数或不可数名词的。再来，如果我们是用 amount 是用来修饰不可数名词的量，那么相对的 number 通常是用来修饰可数名词的量。好，我们这边是要用 amount， 那这时候它的用法是 amount of 或者是 an amount of。那么 amount 的前面可以加上 large, huge, great 等等的形容词去修饰它数量很多，所以你也可以用 a large amount of，A huge amount of, a great amount of， 或者是 large, huge, great， 或是其他形容词，然后再搭配 amount of 都可以。好，再来看到第三个重点是非常严重而无法被忽视，我们可以说 too serious to be ignored。那它这边用到的句型就是too 就是 too 加上形容词或副词，然后后面再搭配不定词去表达太怎么样以至于无法怎么样，非常怎么样而无法怎么样。那特别注意这样的句型它其实本身已经带有否定语义，所以不要再加否定词咯。那现在看完三个相关文法重点，我们请 Jeff 老师帮我翻译整个句子。
The convenience of online shopping leads to the production of tons of packaging waste,which is a problem too serious to be ignored.
好，我们现在进入第四个句子，我们最后一个句子咯。它是说，许多公司都在寻找这个问题创新的解决方法，但此时我们能做的就是重复使用和回收利用。好，先来看前半句的主词是许多公司，动词是都在寻找，那它是在陈述现在正在进行的事，所以是用现在进行式来表达。那么特别注意，我们要表达什么什么的解决方法，我们是在 solution 的后面搭配介系词 to，不是用 of， 而是用 to， 然后再接名词。再来看到后半句的主词是我们能做的，动词是就是。好，那这边呢，我们的时态是在陈述事实，所以是用现在简单式。
Hanny,
Yes?
this doesn't sound very good.
Why?
We've got to get to work. We've got to start looking for solutions to these problems, okay? We can't sit around and ignore stuff anymore. We've got to get active. We've got to get off our butts and start moving, finding solutions to these problems. We need to seek out solutions to these problems, look for solutions to these problems, search for solutions to these problems, or hunt for solutions to these problems. I say this to my daughter very often. It's easy enough to look for problems, okay? It takes your brain and using your brain to look for solutions. Very simply, what you should think is, hey, problem, meet, solution, okay? And that's what we need to do, especially as far as this packaging waste is concerned. A lot of it is plastic waste. And if we don't figure out what to do with this plastic waste, it's going to be here on planet Earth for a long time, clogging up everything. It's already clogging up the oceans and hurting animals there. Oh my goodness. What a mess. So we need to seek, look for, search for, or hunt for solutions to problems like these. For instance, you could say, if you feel sick, you should seek advice from your doctor. You feel sick, you don't know what's going on, you got a problem. What do? You look for a solution. If you feel sick, who usually has the solutions there? Your doctor. And if they don't have the solution, chances are they can pass you on to another doctor, let's say, who might have that solution that you are looking for. So, what can we do? That is the question. What can we do? And how can we answer that question? You can answer it like this. Hey, what can we do? Well, what we can do is verb. And notice that both times the word what begins those sentences. First the question that I said and then the answer, okay? In the second case, what we can do is verb, okay? What in that case basically is the same as saying the thing or things that we can do. So, what can we do? Well, what we can do is this. Or you could say, what can we do? Well, the thing that we can do is this. There you go. For example, you could say, to reduce the amount of waste in the world, what we can do is stop using so much plastic. Yay, I agree with that completely. Further, you could also say, if I want to get into a good school, what I need is to study hard.
好，我们来看这边有两个重点。首先是要表达寻找，我们可以用 look for、search for 这些都可以，或是用动词 seek， 或者是你也可以用 hunt for。hunt 有打猎，可是 hunt for 就可以表达寻找的意思咯。好，那么第二个重点是我们能做的就是什么什么。这时候可以用到的句型是 What we can do is 再加原形动词。为什么是这样句型结构呢？我们来看一下 what 在这边是复合关系代名词，就相当于 the thing that 或者是 the things that。那么 what we can do 就是表达说 the thing or the things that we can do， 也就是我们能做的事。好，那这个子句呢，它是当主词用，所以后面是要搭配单数动词 is。好，再来咯，后面它是接名词或不定词来当补语，只是要特别注意，当 what 引导的那个子句里面有包含动词 do 的时候，像 what we can do 里面有 do， 对不对？那么后面那个不定词一般就会省略掉 to， 所以我们才会看到 is 后面直接接了原形动词。像我们来看就是两个例句里面 What we can do is stop using 什么什么，这边有 do， 所以后面那个 to stop 就省略了 to。 再来第二个例句里面他说 What I need is to study hard， What I need 里面没有 do， 所以它后面的 to study hard 这个 to 就有保留。好，那现在看完两个相关文法重点，我们可以翻译整个句子哦。我们请 Jeff 老师帮我们念最后一个句子。
Many companies are seeking creative solutions to this problem, but what we can do in the meantime is reuse and recycle. So there you go. Problem meet solution. Hopefully these companies, they get creative. They really seek out some good solutions to these problems. But in the meantime, what we can do at the same time is reuse and recycle, and hopefully that gigantic plastic garbage patch in the middle of the ocean will somehow magically disappear, or we'll work to remove it, or something like that. My fingers are crossed. I'm actually hopeful for the future. Anyways, this month's translation practice is now in the books, and it's time for Hanny and I to say bye-bye.